Hello? Good, how are you? Sorry, I can't hear you, Ben. Just excited to get to practice, work on the stuff we got in this week. Just like any other game, ready to go. Um, excited about the guys we have, excited about the game plan we have, for sure. I think our guys are excited to play. Yeah, it was. Everyone had to get their bodies right after camp. Camp's a long grind. So it felt good to have 2 or 3 days off. Now we're back at it.
What are your thoughts on Minnesota's defense?
They have guys that have been in the system for a long time that are really smart, play together really well, and are veteran guys that have played a lot of football. So you're not going to fool them. You just got to go out and execute really well. They're really talented. We're just going to go out and execute our game plan, get better every day in practice, and excited to go out there and see what we got.
Are you playing a bigger role in the game planning process than you did last season?
I'm voicing my opinion more, probably. Yeah, I would say that's fair to say.
Is that just his second year more comfortable in the system?
Yeah, just seen more football, understand what we want against certain looks, understand what I would like against certain looks, and understanding our guys.
Joe, you talked about wanting to get hit. Have you now started to think about you are going to get hit, obviously, some quick on Sunday of what that's going to be like again?
Yeah, it's exciting to play football again. I'm a football player, not just a quarterback, and getting hit's part of the game. I'm excited to experience it.
On the back end, they've got a couple of guys, 31, 32-year-old guys that have been in the league, Pro Bowl players, multiple year Pro Bowl players, pretty intelligent. Does that show up on tape?
It does, yeah. We haven't seen all those guys play together as a unit, but you've seen them in years past, and they're obviously still playing for a reason. So they're really smart football players. They've seen a lot of concepts, played a lot of football. You're not going to fool them. You're just going to have to go out and execute your base plays and try to win the game.
Is there any wonder what that first hit will feel like for your knee?
No, I'm not worried about it. I put in the work to feel confident in that.
Mark told us the other day that with that kind of talked to you about when you first were out there, you weren't really being yourself and you weren't as vocal, but now you are. What was that conversation like? What did you say to him?
He just asked me why I wasn't speaking up like I used to, and I was like, you know what, you're right. Why am I not doing that? And I realized that I kind of, when I'm more vocal, it kind of gets me into a rhythm, and I stop thinking about what I have to do, and I start thinking about what everybody else has to do, and it just reverts back to muscle memory. I think that played a part in me starting to play really well.
So what does complementary football mean? Zach the other day said he thinks this team's going to be more focused on playing a complementary game, offense up on the defense, if those stay on the field, convert third down. What does it mean to you?
All three phases working in unison, and that's what great teams do. Special teams controls the field position, defense gets off the field, gets it back to the offense, and the offense stays on the field. Doesn't make the defense go out there every 10 minutes. So that's a big part of what we'd like to do too. Just play complementary football, and that'll win you a lot of games.
Zach also talked about the priority of finding more explosive plays this year. How excited are you for that potential? I'm sure you'd love to be throwing the ball deep.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think we have the guys to do it. I've made progress in that area, so I'm excited to show that off.
Because of the pandemic last year, you probably didn't get to see too much of Cincinnati. Over the last few months, what have you learned and what do you like about the city?
I still don't really go out too much. I just stay in the house. Underrated restaurants though, very underrated restaurants. Very, whenever you go across the country, people always say that as well.
So do you expect to be your normal self Sunday, or is this still going to take some time for you to work yourself back into being your 100% typical Dayton self?
I expect to be better. I put in a lot of work this offseason that I'm excited to show off, as well as all of our guys have. We're a much better football team that has prepared the way we need to and understands how to win games now, I think. So I'm excited to put that on tape.
How do you compare where you were going into last year, no preseason snaps, and this year three preseason snaps? But is it different, or how do you feel compared to last year?
I just feel more comfortable. I played some football last year, got a lot of reps in that I feel very good about, and so whenever you get more reps, you're going to feel more comfortable going into the opener.
I don't think you played any snaps last year with those Xaviers putting in the game. I know you played a little with each guy coming down. How much confidence do you have in those two guys?
And those guys are pros that handle business the right way. Those guys are going to do exactly what they're supposed to do. They're not going to have any MAs. I'm excited to play with those guys. Those are tough, physical, veteran guys that know what they're doing.
You already talked about your intelligence, overall and football intelligence as a rookie. Here, from year one to year two, I mean, a lot of players, I think my experience is it's like the world opens up to you, I mean, you feel like you didn't know what you didn't know as a rookie. Do you feel that way, or are you even, like, at a doctorate level in terms of football understanding now?
I'm just excited that I've seen looks that most college or defenses don't run, and so I've seen more football. I've had more reps against defenses that maybe you hadn't seen before, and so I know what to get to when I see those, and so it just comes with reps, and I'm going to get even more, and I'm going to you try to improve year to year. So I'm excited to go out there and show everybody what I got.
How important is the early portion of this season for you guys, considering you didn't win as much as you wanted to last year? A lot of young guys trying to figure it out and believe. Does that make added importance than there would be in a normal year for this particular early portion of the schedule to make everyone kind of believe that everything you think you have actually you do have?
I wouldn't say added importance. I would say, you have to start off strong any season. You want to get the momentum rolling. When you start to win games, you start to win more games, and when you start to lose games, you start to lose more games. So you need to go out there early and execute and win to build that momentum going into later part of the season. We have a great coaching staff, and we have great players, but more importantly, they're great people and really smart football players that understand what it takes to get there. We brought in some free agents and new guys that have really been in that spot and know what it takes to win. And so, we're going to rely on those guys' experience in those situations to help the young guys prepare the way they need to get to that spot.
Where do you see the football IQ show up the most?
Just in my checks, understanding what the defense is trying to do and then attacking that.
You feel like there were moments at points last year where maybe you kind of held y'all back from closing out games and kind of that inexperience kind of maybe played a role in some of those instances?
I don't think so. I think, there were moments on film where you look back and you're like, I wish I would have, checked to this play. They had a good defense. And this year I'm seeing those checks and I'm seeing, what the defense is trying to do. And I think I'm just going to be able to better take advantage of those situations.
Point about the opener last year, if that game turned out differently, they wasn't taking away the shots, basically. How different do you think it might have been? I mean, how hard was that to get over?
Yeah, you never know. But, like I said, winning games wins more games. And that's, you lose the first one like that, and then it kind of snowballed on us, and, we didn't have a very good year. So, you always want to go out and perform really well in the first game.
Whether it was a win or a loss, was there a game last year you learned the most from?
I wouldn't say I learned the most from any of them. You learn a lot from all of them. There were games like Indy, both Cleveland games, Baltimore. There's always learning experiences from all the games you play in.
I think I read that you said you gave up dairy. Are there other things that you've changed in terms of maybe your diet or your routine that's making it different as you get ready for your first season?
Yeah, I've changed a few things. I'm lifting a little bit more during the season, just trying to maintain my strength and my body in that way. So, there's a few things like that you just as you get older you develop more of a routine that you go through on game weeks. So, Monday, do whatever you do on every Monday. The most important thing is you don't switch it up. You don't, one Monday you lift and then the next Monday you don't. You just got to be consistent throughout the year.
Are you still not eating dairy?
Yeah, I am.
What do you remember about that last play to AJ last year's open? What do you remember about that?
We should have won. That's what I remember about it.
There's going to be a stadium full of people that followed your progress
Yeah, I'm excited to be out there in front of a full stadium. It's going to be, we have great fans that really support us. We just have to put a good product on the field to make sure that they feel proud of us. We do this for the fans as well as ourselves, but the fans are what make the game go. And so, I'm excited to show my appreciation to those guys and hopefully go out and put a good performance.
For you personally, the ovation is going to be different. It's going to be the loudest ovation. Will you allow yourself in that moment to let it sink in and feel that moment?
No, it's going to be game time then, so I'm going to try to block all that out and go out and execute.
You mentioned the locker room being full of smart players. What does Jesse Yates bring to the defense in this team?
Everyone knows what he can do on the field, but I think where he really shines is in the locker room. He really knows how to talk to so when you're in the locker room, you understand some people are kind of like chameleons. They can talk to everybody. One day they'll be sitting with the DBs, the next day they'll be sitting with the defensive line, the next day with the receivers. They can talk to everybody. And as a leader of the team, that's what you have to try to do, and Jesse is really good at that. And so whether that is practiced or it just comes naturally, I think that's what a good leader does.
I think going back in your career, it's something you've kind of done as well. Like back at Ohio State, did you make a conscious effort to say, hey, I want to build these relationships on other sides of the ball and kind of have a good feel of the whole locker room?
Yeah, you do make a conscious effort to do that at the beginning, and then you become friends with all those guys, and it becomes easy. So, at the beginning, you just kind of consciously do it, and then it just snowballs into having a really connected team.
How important is he to the culture here?
I think he's what makes the defense go. He's the guy communicating. He's the guy in the middle that really understands what they're trying to do on defense and what the offense is trying to do as well, taking calculated risks on the field. And everybody respects him. And he doesn't speak up a lot, but when he does, everybody listens.
Joe, when you look around the teams that are around through the offseason, the training camp, who is somebody on the offense besides yourself that you think is primed to take a big jump this year? You just cannot wait to see how far their level of play goes compared to where they were last year.
I'm excited to watch T. T had a great offseason. You can tell he really put in the work and really grinded the whole year and came in looking great. He looks more explosive. He looks bigger, stronger, catches the ball better. I'm really excited to see what he's going to do.
Are you able to throw to him differently this year than you did last year? Besides just the obvious comfort that you would have in second year for somebody?
I don't know if I would say that. I would say he's just a bigger, stronger receiver that's going to make more plays for us.
And is there somebody on the defensive side of the ball that you view that way, that could be taking a big jump, having gone against them?
I think Cheeto is going to have a big year. I'm excited to, he's a tough guy to go against every day in practice. There's no easy ones with Cheeto. He's on his stuff, understands, the weaknesses of the coverage and leverage, and what receivers are trying to do with releases. So, he's going to be a big part of this team that I'm excited to watch.
It's the first time Joe Mixon's coming back. It's the first time Mixon's come back too, and Pollock has got the new job. What do you see different in the run game? What do you expect out of Mixon that maybe he didn't get last year?
Joe's going to have a big year, and everyone knows what he can do in the run game, but he's really put in the work in the pass game as well. Understanding his routes, where we want him to be, the timing. When you're a running back in the pass game, you really have to understand the protections, and then as well the timing of the defensive line, and they kind of have to have a clock in the head like a quarterback. And Joe's getting better and better in that at that every single day. I think he's going to have a big year.
2 more minutes, Joe. During the dog days of rehab, and the recent dog day, obviously, did you feel like this is where you were going to be? I mean, are you exactly where you anticipated you would be going through that whole process?
Yeah, there's no doubt in my mind I was going to be out here week 1, ready to go. I had great people around me that helped me get there, so I'm excited for myself, but I think they're excited for me as well.
Given the style that Zimmer plays and his veteran secondary, what are you putting a premium on Sunday for you? What's some of the things you've got to make sure that you do Sunday?
Just taking what the defense gives me. not forcing throws, trying to make big plays. You know, the big plays will come within the offense. Just take what the defense gives me, make the plays when they're there to be made, but don't create unneeded turnovers. Protect the ball, be a game manager, and then push the ball down the field when it's needed.
You obviously had a big jump at LSU and year 3 career one. Did you get, were there any feelings that offseason that you had before 19 that maybe you had similarly in this offseason?
Yeah, it feels different this year. Whether it's in the locker room, on the field, in the weight room, it just kind of feels different. There's a different vibe. The guys have a little pep in their step, are excited to go out and play. So, I'm excited about what we have going on.
Just picked up a quarterback who had training camp in Minnesota. Do you pick his brain, or do you just trust what you see on tape more so than picking another guy's brain?
Of course, I'm not going to talk to him about what the Vikings do. Of course not.
Last question. You talked earlier about, being more involved in the game plan, being willing to make more checks, things like that. Do you feel like you have more freedom at the line? We obviously had a lot last year, but do you feel like you have a little bit more of a breadth of ability to just kind of run the show from the line this year?
I wouldn't say. I would say they gave me that freedom last year. I would say I just expanded my own playbook in my head about what to get to. So in my own head, I have more freedom because I have more plays to get to, just because of my own knowledge and reps and experience. But I would say, I had the trust of the coaching staff last year to do that as well.
How much were you doing that, sitting at home the second half of last season, watching the games, going through your own checks in your head, what you would have?
Yeah, you had to, because otherwise you go crazy.
Yeah.
Yep, thanks, Rich.